Good evening and welcome. Tonight we will be going over the history and geography of the Cerro Largo department in Uruguay. Tonight we're just on the tablet because there's not like a ton of history to talk about here. This area, as you can see, is pretty rural. It is mostly just farmland and ranch land and wilderness. But let's start by zooming out so you can see exactly where we are in the world. Here is Uruguay. It's pretty easy to find if you look at South America because you can see the Rio de la Plata right here, where of course Buenos Aires is right across the way. And Uruguay is this big lumpy part above the Rio de la Plata. Pretty simple to find. We'll talk about Argentina later this week. This department borders Brazil up here and also has a lot of river borders you can see here. This is the Black River. The Black River, which if that's the same Black River, we'll be revisiting this river when we talk about Argentina later in the week. We also border this giant lake here, Lagua Mini, which looks to be a bit brackish, doesn't it? I wonder if that comes from the ocean somehow, but we can see this town here, a bunch of other kind of small settlements along the lake where we can have, it looks a lot better in person, a nice beachy area here. Looks far more pleasant up close than from above, doesn't it? It looks all like a big marsh, but here it's like pleasant. It's a beautiful lake. They're fishing. The capital of this department is Melo, which has vanished. There it is, Melo, which, as you can see from above, is definitely a colonial town because it's all squared out. You see all these perfect squares? That is a signature of Spanish colonial towns. You can find them all over the place. There's a couple more in this department too, where everything is in a square. This is the main plaza. That's my cat scratching in the background. The main plaza of the city. We've got Artigas, Jose Artigas up here. We've already talked about when we talked about Artigas department. And yeah, of course the church is there. It gets all decked out for Christmas. There's little markets. You know, very typical of major plazas. There's another plaza up here, which is really quaint and nice. Very tree lined. And of course it has its main church nearby. Looks like there's food, restaurants, outdoor dining, the playground, the fountain, so on and so forth. I think it's over here that the museum maybe was at the other plaza. I thought it was near this one. I guess not. I guess it was at the other plaza. Yep, it was. The Regional History Museum. There it is. You can see a cool old buggy there. And some fossils by the looks of it. There's a guy. He's very serious there above that safe. Old typewriter, skeleton man, old clothes, old weapons. So this town looks like a tallit. I wonder. This town was actually founded in 1795. It was named after the regional governor at the time. It looks like it's probably just like a poncho. It looks like a a Jewish tallit. It's interesting. Some guns as well. This was founded to be a military outpost because this area was the wilderness. This was, gaucho territory. This was where lots of herding would occur. And of course, there were many indigenous people living around here. Here's the main river. Forget my favorite slideshow over here. I think it was this one. Nice and pretty over here. This area allegedly was home to the indigenous, I believe it was the Arachin, something like that. But we're not sure if they actually existed because there's only one historical source that mentions them, and that's it. There's no other proof that these people lived here, but it's kind of an accepted legend at this point. It's pretty, all foggy, misty by the river, going kayaking. Or canoeing, I suppose. And that is pretty much all the history that I've got for you. This area was invaded a couple times by the Portuguese in the 1800s, early 1800s, once the dust was settling from various independence wars and borders were still very iffy. But this area wound up becoming part, obviously, of Uruguay once Uruguay became independent. And as you can see, this area is mostly just farmland. There are a few ruins here and there of old manor homes. I found a couple, but let's say this one. This looks like this was a convent. Yeah, I found lots of old ruins. Times long ago, the industries change. Man, my tummy is I just had dinner. I'm digesting, sorry. Industry has changed, hasn't it? La Margarita Estancia. Nope. Estancia meaning a ranch, right? Interesting. But yeah, this area is mostly just good old farmland, grazing land, the outpost area. Alright, and Jet is loudly playing with his toys in here, so I think that's his way, because he's my boss while I film. He has to supervise. I think that's his way of saying, wrap it up, because there's not much else to see and look at and talk about in this department of Uruguay, which is a bummer, because I love talking about Uruguay. There's an estancia right here. Oh, look at that. Look at all the cattle. Yeah, he's loudly playing with his toys. It's time to wrap this up. I think that is. Oh, there's some ruins there. I told you. Some pretty birds. But yeah, lots of ruins of times past. I imagine it was industries that came and went. The Fandango Museum. Oh, you know what I didn't show you? I'll wrap it up when I show you. Interesting. Like a frontier museum looks like is another museum I need to show you in Melo, which is very important to Uruguay. Let's see if I remember where it is. There's the main plaza, and it was just south of it. We'll end it there, as Jet says. That's about it. Here it is. This is the home of Juana de Ibarburu, who is considered one of the most famous poets in Uruguay. So we'll end it here at her house. Thank you so much for watching. Sorry it was a short one. It'll be much longer throughout the rest of this week. We have a lot of South America this week, because like I said, we're going to Argentina, and tomorrow we're going to Colombia, one of my favorite countries to talk about in South America. Looks like there's one of her poems right here. So if you want more South America content that's much longer, be sure to subscribe so you won't miss out. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and let me know your thoughts down below in the comments. It's a really beautiful painting of her. looks like a 1920s Hollywood star there. I hope that, ooh, creepy. I hope that you found this video to be relaxing and educational. And I hope that you have a good night. Good night.